If we create psychologically safe work environments, won't we be lowering standards? If we accept mistakes, won't things get worse? These are concerns I hear from leaders all the time when they hear about the term psychological safety. Been saying for a while, psychological safety has become a buzzword, and unfortunately, it's lost a lot of its meaning. The opposite is actually true. Psychological safety can improve performance and standards, but you need this key component. I'm Dr. Anna Kalschmidt. I'm an industrial organizational psychologist, and I research the unwritten rules of work for the working class as they move up into higher class environments, as well as intersections of neurodivergence, race, and gender. And when I started my research, I noticed the unwritten rule of compliance coming up. This is where people weren't allowed to speak up, or they had to learn to play the game of when the boss is asking you questions, but they don't want an honest answer, they want a yes person. This is really difficult for people from working class backgrounds and for neurodivergence. And it's negatively correlated, meaning it has the opposite relationship with Amy Edmondson's psychological safety. But in her book, The Right Kind of Wrong, Dr. Edmondson distinguishes between basic failure and intelligent failure. And she talks about to have psychological safety, you have to know and you have to decide as a leader what is blameworthy and what is not. Deciding on these criteria is critical for defining success in your workplace and for the ability to create a psychologically safe workplace for people to innovate and test and let you know about mistakes and be empowered, and frankly, to reap the benefits of a psychologically safe workspace, like retaining employees and saving all of that cost and having more productivity, but without empowering people to just cop out and be lazy. So, for example, in this book, she gives the example that intelligent failure was the surgeons who did the first open heart surgeries. She outlines the examples of the first few people who they attempted this on and they did not live. And while that is tragic and sad, she outlines that this was not basic failure. This is not something that the surgeon should stop trying to figure out this technique. This technique has saved many lives. But in the early days of experimentation on this, these patients that they tried the surgery on had no other options. And while of course we wish it worked right away, it didn't. And even when it started working, there was still some failure along the way. And identifying what those failures were and improving from there is intelligent failure. What would not be intelligent failure for a surgeon is someone just didn't wash their hands. Not acceptable. You have a surgeon not washing their hands before surgery, get rid of them. Okay, in a more typical corporate environment, since not everything is surgery, thank God, is trying a new process that didn't work properly and adjusting to learn more to make sure it doesn't happen again, versus what is blameworthy, which is just repeating the same operational mistakes over and over again and expecting a different result. Now, we all make mistakes, especially when we're tired or stressed out, and, we would hope people give us grace. But it's important that we recognize that psychological safety does not mean lower standards. It means learning from our mistakes and having standards of what is considered innovative and new and change making, and what is we refuse to learn. Because ironically, we refuse to learn from our mistakes and we refuse to be preventative is this unwritten rule of compliance. And it's very prevalent in workspaces. If you want to learn more about the unwritten rules of work and how they impact your business, people, and yourself as a leader, check out the free book chapter I have released in advance. It's linked in my bio. I've also developed a quiz for helping you to identify which unwritten rules your workplace is struggling with. You can take the quick quiz. It's about 4 questions, and I'll follow up with you about the results.